Affirmation serves as a gentle anchor, especially in moments when the familiar mindset begins to resurface. In those instances, pause and consciously shift to an empowering thought. All is well, and wellness expands with every moment as the natural rhythm of life flows effortlessly toward greater harmony. With each breath, the essence of well-being deepens, rippling out into every aspect of existence. Challenges dissolve into opportunities for growth, and the unfolding of each moment reveals an ever-expanding capacity for alignment and ease. The energy of wellness is constant, gently magnifying itself as focus and intention align with its flow, creating a reality that reflects balance and fulfillment. Every moment brings peace because peace is the natural state of being when one is aligned with their inner self. When you recognize that all is well within you, you acknowledge that external circumstances do not define your experience, your perspective does. Peace arises when you cease resistance, allowing life to flow effortlessly. It is not something to be sought but something to be realized. The mind, when quiet and receptive, naturally settles into harmony, for it is only in the illusion of lack or struggle that disharmony exists. The essence of well-being is always present. The more you trust in the perfection of this moment, the more you feel its serenity. Today's affirmation.
Every moment brings peace, for all is well within me. Peace is not something I must reach for, it is something I allow. It is the natural state of my being, always present beneath the noise of fleeting thoughts and shifting emotions. I no longer look to the outside world to confirm my well-being, for I have discovered that true harmony exists within me, independent of circumstances. When challenges arise, I do not see them as obstacles, but as opportunities to deepen my trust in the unfolding of life. I no longer resist what is. Instead, I embrace each experience with the knowing that everything is working in my favor, even when I cannot yet see how. This trust dissolves all tension, leaving only the quiet certainty that all is well. I carry this peace with me, not as something fragile, but as something unshakable. It is not conditional, nor is it dependent on perfection, it simply is. I move through my days with an open heart, knowing that whatever comes my way, I have the clarity and strength to navigate it with grace. My thoughts no longer pull me into fear or doubt because I recognize them for what they are, passing clouds in the vast sky of my awareness. Beneath them, I remain steady, anchored in the truth that I am always supported, always guided. And in this deep knowing, I find my greatest freedom, the freedom to simply be, to trust, and to rest in the certainty that every moment is an invitation to peace.
Thought transforming. Expanded awareness. Mindful insights. Conscious creating. Whether it's a shift in perspective, a spark of inspiration, or a powerful reminder of your own creative power, Talk Tells invites you to dive deep into the unseen forces shaping our lives, and how to consciously create the experiences we desire. We'll uncover the subtle energies that influence our reality, and explore how aligning with these forces can transform our intentions into tangible outcomes.
How would your life change if you realized your thoughts are the blueprint and your emotions are the energy that brings them to life? What would it mean to you to recognize your outer world as a direct mirror of your inner state? How could your reality evolve if you remembered that the universe responds to your energy, not just your words? What might you attract if you believed alignment requires allowing, rather than effort? What you focus on consistently becomes your reality.
Welcome to Infinite Consciousness, Talk Tells. Thank you for joining us. We're thrilled to have you here.
Today's episode is dedicated to the true essence of healing, not as a process of fixing what is broken, but as an art of guiding energy toward its natural state of well-being. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to radiate an energy that makes you feel instantly better, or why certain healers, doctors, or even friends have a presence that soothes, today's discussion will reveal the profound truth behind this. Healing is not about the removal of illness. but rather the alignment with wellness, a wellness that is already present, waiting to be acknowledged. Settling, breathe deeply, and let's journey into the realm of healing and vibrational influence. Wellness is the order of the day. In the vast, ever-unfolding nature of existence, there is a truth so fundamental that it shapes every aspect of life. Wellness is not an achievement to be pursued, but a state that already exists. It is the natural order, the baseline from which all things emerge. Like the rhythm of the tides or the steady glow of the sun behind shifting clouds, wellness is the foundation upon which all experience is built. True healers do not focus on disease. Those who facilitate the alignment of energy, the practitioners of medicine, and even the poets and storytellers who weave words into transformative power, do not operate from a paradigm of deficiency. They do not see illness as a force to be battled, nor do they subscribe to the belief that struggle is a necessary component of healing. Instead, they hold fast to an understanding that transcends conventional perspectives. No being is ever truly broken. The skilled healer do not engage in the energy of struggle. The presence of disease or distress is not an indicator of something missing, but rather a momentary discord within the natural state of balance. They do not immerse themselves in the energy of struggle, for they recognize that to do so would only reinforce its presence. They do not view those who seek their guidance as fragmented or lacking, for to do so would deny the perfection that already exists beneath the surface. Their role is not to fix. They do not even perceive the one seeking healing as broken nor to impose their will upon another's experience. Instead, they act as unwavering beacons, holding a steady and unshakable awareness that wellness is not something distant. It is here, now, ever present, and waiting to be realized. Their power is not in the tools they use, nor in the techniques they employ, but in their ability to stand in a vibration of certainty so profound that it influences those around them. The true healer does not create healing. They create the space in which healing becomes inevitable. Their presence alone invites an alignment so complete that the wellness already summoned by the one seeking relief is finally allowed to manifest. For in the grand design of life, wellness is not a question of possibility. It is an ever-present reality, patiently awaiting recognition. Imagine, for a moment, a river. It winds effortlessly through the landscape, a steady and unbroken current carrying with it the rhythm of life itself. In its natural state, the river is clear, flowing without resistance, an unceasing movement toward expansion and renewal. Yet, as with all things in nature, there are times when obstacles appear, fallen branches, wayward rocks, or accumulated debris that momentarily disrupt the current. The water does not stop. It does not lose its essence. It merely encounters resistance, causing turbulence or a temporary redirection of its flow. A true healer understands this dynamic intimately. They do not stand at the river's edge complaining about the obstruction, nor do they engage in a futile struggle against it. They do not see the river as broken or in need of repair, for they recognize that the water itself remains unchanged. It still holds within it the innate impulse to move, to flow, to reach its natural destination. Instead, with a gentle and knowing hand, they observe the patterns of resistance and, with precise intention, remove the blockages. This is the essence of vibrational healing. The healer does not manufacture wellness, nor do they impose it upon another. Rather, they serve as facilitators of clarity, removing the impediments that prevent the natural current of well-being from resuming its course. The body, the mind, and the spirit already possess the blueprint for harmony. The healer simply assists in dissolving the resistance that has momentarily obscured this inherent truth. And yet, despite this profound role, healing is never truly about the healer. The one who seeks alignment is fully capable of finding their way back to balance on their own, for the river of well-being flows within them as surely as it flows through all things. However, there is a powerful truth often overlooked. While the current will always find its way, the presence of one who holds unwavering certainty can accelerate the process. The healer's influence is not in force, nor in persuasion, but in the depth of their knowing. Their steady presence becomes an anchor, a stabilizing force that gently invites the one in need to release their own resistance. By standing in the absolute awareness that wellness is not something to be attained but something to be allowed, they create a space where alignment is not only possible but inevitable. Just as the river, once unburdened, rushes freely once more toward its natural course, so too does the energy of well-being reclaim its rightful flow when resistance is set aside. And in this, the true gift of the healer is revealed, not as a giver of wellness, but as one who reminds others that wellness has been there all along, waiting to be received. The unseen forces that shape human interaction are more powerful than most realize. Though intangible, they are felt in every exchange, in every space where energies mingle. Consider this. Have you ever stepped into a room where someone was deeply upset, and before they even spoke, you could sense the tension in the air? The energy of their distress was palpable, radiating outward in a way that subtly, or sometimes overwhelmingly, influenced your own state. Conversely, have you ever been in the presence of someone so grounded, so calm and centered, that their very being seemed to soothe and steady you without a single word spoken? This is vibrational influence at work. It is not a matter of words, nor of conscious intent alone. It is the natural interplay of energy, a dynamic where the strongest vibration always leads. This principle governs all human interactions, whether recognized or not. In the realm of healing, this truth becomes even more profound. A healer who holds a steadfast knowing of wellness, who stands unwavering in the certainty that well-being is the natural state, becomes a stabilizing force, a vibrational anchor. The one seeking healing, whether consciously aware of it or not, will begin to feel this steady influence. They will, little by little, start to attune to the frequency of alignment simply by being in its presence. But this also reveals a crucial aspect of healing influence. It is not merely the intention of the healer that matters, but the vibrational stance they hold. A healer who doubts, who worries, who feels sorrow or pity for the one they are helping, though well-meaning, can inadvertently slow the process of healing. In those moments, they have stepped out of the frequency of wellness and into the energy of struggle. And since the stronger vibration always leads, they risk reinforcing the very discord they wish to dissolve. True healing influence is not about effort, nor is it about force. It is about presence, an unshakable steadiness, an unwavering focus on the fundamental truth that well-being is always accessible. It requires a deep trust in the natural order of life, a certainty that wellness is not something to be created, but something to be revealed. The most powerful healers are not those who attempt to fix another, but those who remain so firmly aligned with the vibration of wellness that they naturally guide others into that state. Like a tuning fork that, when struck, causes another to resonate in harmony, the true healer simply stands in their knowing, and in doing so, invites all who seek relief to remember the wellness that has been theirs all along. Vibrational influence is not an abstract concept. It is evident in the very fabric of human interactions, shaping outcomes in ways both subtle and profound. To understand this, one need only look at the world around them, where real-world examples of this dynamic play out every day. Consider, for instance, a doctor standing before a patient diagnosed with a serious condition. Many in such a position might instinctively respond with sympathy, concern, or even a silent undercurrent of fear. They might see the condition as a battle to be fought, reinforcing the idea of illness as a powerful force that must be overcome. Yet, a true healer, whether a physician, an energy worker, or even a close friend, approaches the situation differently. Instead of seeing only the illness, they hold a vision of the patient as whole, strong, and well. They acknowledge the present circumstances, but they do not become consumed by them. Instead, they stand in the knowing that wellness is always available, always seeking expression, and they hold space for that reality to emerge. This perspective does not require ignoring the physical reality of the situation. It is not a denial of what is, but rather an awareness that physical conditions are not fixed. They are fluid, ever changing, responding moment by moment to the dominant focus and belief. And belief, in turn, is profoundly shaped by the energy of those who surround us. A mother comforting her child provides another powerful example of vibrational leadership in action. When a child is hurt or frightened, their immediate reality is one of distress. Yet, the mother does not panic. She does not amplify the fear by reacting with alarm. Instead, she speaks in soothing tones, holds the child close, and radiates certainty that everything is okay. In doing so, she creates a vibrational shift. The child, sensing her calm, begins to relax. Their body responds, tension eases, and healing unfolds more quickly. It is not the words alone that comfort the child, but the energy behind them. The mother's steady belief in safety and well-being acts as an anchor, guiding the child back into balance. Or consider a leader in the midst of crisis. When those around them are panicked, overwhelmed by uncertainty, it is the one who remains steady, focused, and unwavering in their confidence who exerts the greatest influence. They do not succumb to fear, nor do they react to the chaos. Instead, they exude clarity and assurance. And in doing so, they change the entire dynamic. The group begins to settle, solutions emerge, and the crisis is navigated with greater ease. Not because the external circumstances have suddenly shifted, but because the vibrational foundation has. This is the essence of vibrational leadership, and at its core, healing is exactly that: leadership of energy, focus, and belief. A true healer does not impose wellness upon another, nor do they attempt to force change through effort or struggle. Instead, they stand as a pillar of certainty, holding alignment so unwaveringly that those in their presence cannot help but be drawn toward it. Whether as a healer, a parent, a guide, or a leader in any capacity, the greatest influence comes not from action alone, but from the vibrational state one embodies. The strongest frequency always leads. And in a world where discord and imbalance often seem prevalent, those who can hold the frequency of wellness, stability, and clarity become the quiet yet powerful forces that realign everything around them. Whether one holds the title of healer in an official capacity or simply wishes to uplift those around them, the essence of healing influence remains the same. It is an act of vibrational leadership. To guide another toward wellness, one must first embody it. To bring clarity to those in distress, one must first be clear within themselves. The power of influence is not in effort or persuasion, but in the steadiness of one's presence. So, how does one step into this role? How does one cultivate the ability to serve as a beacon of alignment, a source of stability in a world that often seems chaotic? There are three fundamental principles that, when practiced consistently, allow anyone to become a conduit for healing energy. 1. See only wellness. The first and most essential practice is to train the mind to perceive only wellness, even in the face of struggle. This does not mean ignoring pain, dismissing suffering, or pretending that challenges do not exist. Rather, it means choosing to see beyond the temporary conditions that appear before you. When interacting with someone who is experiencing physical, emotional, or mental distress, resist the instinct to view them as broken or lacking. Instead, hold a vision of them as whole, strong, and capable of well-being. See them not as they are in this moment of difficulty, but as the vibrant, empowered being that they truly are beneath the surface. This shift in perception is more powerful than it seems. People, whether consciously aware of it or not, are deeply influenced by how others perceive them. If one approaches a person with concern, pity, or fear, they will feel it, and that energy will reinforce their own struggle. But if one interacts with them from a place of certainty, seeing only their innate strength and capacity for well-being, they will begin to resonate with that vision. They will, even subtly, start to believe in their own ability to heal. 2. Hold steady in your own alignment. A true healer does not waver in the presence of another's distress. They do not get swept into fear, worry, or doubt, even when those around them do. Instead, they remain grounded, like an unshakable rock in the river, allowing the turbulence to flow around them without losing their own stability. This steadiness is what makes healing influence possible. If a healer meets a person in their struggle, matching their fear, mirroring their distress, they only reinforce the very energy they seek to dissolve. But if they remain unwavering in their certainty that wellness is the natural state, their presence alone creates a stabilizing force. This is not about detachment or emotional distance. It is about being so deeply rooted in the knowing of well-being that nothing can shake that foundation. It is about holding alignment with such certainty that it becomes a silent yet powerful invitation for others to step into that same energy. 3. Radiate the vibration of wellness. One cannot offer what they do not embody. To be a source of healing, one must first be in alignment with the frequency of wellness themselves. This means prioritizing one's own state of being. If someone is constantly in a state of stress, tension, or personal struggle, their ability to uplift others will be limited. Their energy will carry an undercurrent of resistance, and no matter how well intended their efforts, that resistance will be felt by those they seek to help. The most powerful healers are not those who try the hardest, but those who live in the vibration of well-being. When one is truly aligned, feeling good, centered, and at ease, they naturally radiate a field of energy that influences all who come into contact with them. They do not need to convince, instruct, or even directly intervene. Their very presence becomes an amplifier of wellness, a tuning fork that helps others harmonize with their own well-being. This is why self-care, personal joy, and inner balance are not selfish pursuits. They are essential for anyone who wishes to be a force of healing in the world. By making alignment a priority, one becomes a magnet for the very energy they wish to share. And in doing so, they effortlessly uplift those around them, not by force, but by the natural power of their own vibrational steadiness. The essence of true healing. Healing, at its core, is not about fixing others. It is about seeing them as whole. It is not about absorbing their pain. It is about holding space for their wellness. It is not about forcing change. It is about embodying alignment so fully that change becomes inevitable. Those who master these principles, who learn to see only wellness, to hold steady in their own alignment, and to radiate the vibration of well-being, become powerful conduits of healing energy. They become living reminders that well-being is not something to be attained, but something that has always been present, waiting to be realized. And in this realization, true transformation occurs. Before this episode comes to a close, let's take a moment to align together. A moment where the awareness of wellness is not just understood, but deeply felt. Wherever one may be, in this very moment, they are invited to take a deep breath. Not just as an act of routine, but as an intentional breath in the knowing that wellness is the default state. A slow, steady inhale. A deep, releasing exhale, breathing out any thoughts of resistance. As with each breath, a quiet but profound shift begins. With the inhale comes the knowing that wellness is not distant, nor conditional. It is the foundation of existence itself. It is the current beneath all things, steady and ever-present, waiting only to be allowed. With the exhale, any lingering thoughts of resistance are released. Not fought, not analyzed, simply let go. Like leaves drifting downstream, dissolving into the flow. Now, the vision shifts inward. There is no need to search for healing, no need to reach beyond oneself, for the truth is already here. The body, the mind, the spirit, each one whole, complete, naturally aligned with well-being. This is not a state to be achieved. It is a state to be remembered. And as this awareness expands outward, the same truth is seen in others. Those around, near and far, are not defined by their struggles or their temporary imbalances. They, too, are whole. They, too, are beings of wellness, even if they have momentarily forgotten. And in this moment of recognition, something shifts. Not through words, not through action, but through the simple power of seeing clearly. This is the essence of influence. Not through effort, not through force, but through certainty. When one holds the unwavering knowing that wellness is not something to be given, but something already present, their very presence becomes a point of alignment for others. They do not need to convince, nor do they need to fix. They need only to be, to stand in their knowing so firmly that those around them begin to remember their own. And so, with one final breath, this truth settles into place. Wellness is here. It has always been here. It is the silent undercurrent beneath all things, the foundation upon which all experience rests. And as one carries this awareness forward, they step into the role of a healer, not by doing, but by being. True healing has never been about fixing, for nothing is truly broken. It is not about struggle, nor about forcefully changing what appears to be. Healing, in its purest form, is alignment, an effortless return to the natural state of well-being that has always been present beneath the surface. Throughout history, the greatest healers were not those who waged war against illness, nor those who became entangled in the suffering of others. They were those who sought past the illusion of struggle and stood, unshaken, in the certainty of well-being. They did not see lack. They saw wholeness. They did not reinforce fear. They embodied trust. And in their presence, those who had forgotten their own alignment began to remember. This is the essence of true healing. It is not an act of doing. It is an act of being. And this power, this gift, is not reserved for a chosen few. It exists within all who are willing to hold the knowing that wellness is the natural order, that balance is always seeking restoration, and that the strongest vibration always leads. Those who master this understanding become quiet but powerful forces of influence. Not through effort, but through presence. Not through struggle, but through certainty. As this journey of exploration comes to a close, the invitation remains. Carry this awareness forward. Let it settle deeply into being. Know that healing is never something to chase. It is something to allow. It is not beyond reach. It is already here, waiting to be realized. And so, with gratitude for this shared moment of alignment, the path continues. For those who feel the resonance of this truth, share it. Offer it as a gentle reminder to those who may have momentarily forgotten their own well-being. And above all, hold steady in the knowing that wellness is not fleeting, nor conditional. It is the foundation of all things, always accessible, always within reach. May alignment be your guide, may awareness be your strength, and may you always remember, healing is not found, it is revealed.
Thank you for tuning in to Talk Tells. If you found value in today's episode, we'd love for you to share it with someone who needs a reminder of their own well-being. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, remember, stay aligned, stay aware, and know that wellness is always within reach.